Hey guys, long time no see. I've been kind of busy lately. I have a lot going on, but anyways, it might be a little late for this video, but I'm gonna show you how to winterize your bike, or at least how I would winterize my bike. Even though I kind of always just ride it off and on throughout the winter, I don't ride it usually a lot, especially when there's so much snow. Usually the mountains are just like packed full of snow and it is super cold up there. But the first thing you want to do is maybe just ride it around, make sure everything's good. I noticed after I had it like running for a while and the choke is off and I go to like get going, it like just cuts out. So I might actually have a crack like developing on that little carburetor to head joint. I made a video on that and I had some cracks, but they weren't all the way through, and maybe one is finally starting to develop, or it could just be because it's kind of cold out. I don't know, but you kind of just want to ride it around, make sure everything's good, because if you have any issues, you kind of want to take care of that in the winter time, especially if you have a nice warm garage to work in. Also, I probably need to overhaul the steering head, just because it had those like notches in it, and I got 17,876 miles. So it's probably time I did that. I probably should do the front suspension too. I don't know if I'll have time for all of that. For the next step, especially if your bike's really dirty, I'll probably get the hose out and just give it a good wash. All that mud from summertime. Also guys, you can use some brushes to get all of the little crevices, and an old toothbrush really comes in handy for those little tiny spots. So if you have a lot of like grease and dirt that's not really coming off very easily, you can always use some degreaser and cleaner. It's got purple power, all of it's pretty good. But if you do have an O-ring chain, I would avoid putting it on there because I'm not really sure if it could harm it or not. Because typically you want to use a special cleaner that's okay for O-rings, but it's probably fine to use it everywhere else. But I just want to get all this like baked on dirt and grease off. Go ahead and clean the chain up. Mine's fairly dirty, could be worse, but I just got some chain cleaner, and I actually don't like this brand as much. I don't think it cleans as well, but I do like the one that I used in the chain maintenance video I made a while back. But I just have a motorcycle wheel roller, make it easier to clean this chain. And I'll spray this cleaner on real good, get it in different areas, get the sprockets. And I have a chain brush, brushes it on 3 sides, definitely helps get it clean. And guys, I love having a X-Ring chain. It's like 10 times better than the stock one, and it like never seems to stretch at all. Whereas the stock one would be out of adjustment in like just 100 miles. This one will go like thousands before it needs adjustment. We'll just make sure we get all the sides. Hey, look at all of that junk that came off the chain. But now we'll just go ahead and rinse it off with water. And that is one clean chain. And TW. Next, we kind of want to dry off all the water. You could use some compressed air or a blower. Or if it's nice out, you can let it sit in the sun and dry. Or you could take it for a ride, just to get all the water out of the chain. Yeah! So now that the chain is dry, we're gonna go ahead and lubricate it. And it's got some chain lube here. It's safe for O-ring chains, but we're just gonna put a lot of this on here as I spin it. Probably put a little extra on there if you're storing it, because you don't want this chain to rust while it's sitting all winter. And you can work it in with your fingers. Nice and tacky. This is also the perfect time to check and adjust your chain. And I have a separate video on how to do this. Next, I'm just gonna take some WD-40 and kind of just spray out the moving parts, just so they don't rust. And these little bolt holes for the cover. And if you have any rust, definitely maybe spray a little bit on there. And if rust is a real problem where you live, you could always use like a lanolin based product like fluid film or wool wax or surface shield. I'll just throw the chain guard back on. Next, we're gonna wanna make sure our tires are fully inflated to about 18 or so PSI. Next, let's go ahead and take care of the fuel system. And to do this, it's best to fill the tank up with gasoline. And it's best to use premium fuel, or if you can, ethanol free. It's a little harder to find, but we'll go ahead and fill it up here. And the reason you want to fill it up with fuel is that it takes all of the space in the fuel tank, so it doesn't leave any room for moisture and stuff and condensation to build up on the walls. And that's what will rust out your fuel tank. But we want to get it nice and full without overflowing it. And that's good right about there. You just want to fill it up to that bottom of that little tube that goes down. And next, you're going to want to add a fuel stabilizer. And I like this Startron stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of fuel stabilizers. I don't know which one's the best, but they gave like samples away when I did LA Barstow to Vegas, so I've just been kind of using this stuff. But it's their enzyme fuel treatment for all gas engines, stabilizes fuel and cleans the fuel system. And apparently this stuff like encapsulates like any moisture, or like grabs onto any moisture and allows it to be burned. But a stabilizer should keep your fuel from going bad for about a year. And you don't need a lot of this stuff. It says 1 ounce. Which is 1 capful, treats up to 2.5 gallons. However, overdosing is not harmful. We'll just pour a little bit of this in there. Don't have to go crazy. So this entire bottle treats 512 gallons. Now we'll seal it up for the winter time and give it a good shake. And we'll go ahead and take it for another spin just to get all that lube on the chain worked in and also get some of that fuel and stabilizer into the carburetor. Once we're back, we'll keep it idling and go ahead and turn the fuel valve to off. And we're gonna run all of the fuel out of the carburetor. And while we're waiting, I'll go over a few other things that you may wanna consider. Possibly change or clean the air filter. I have a video on that. And also check and adjust all your cables, lubricate your cables and stuff. I got videos on all that. Possibly change your brake fluid. Maybe it's time for a valve adjustment. And also, if your oil is really dirty, I would probably go ahead and change that and let the new oil get worked into the engine before you store it. I actually just replaced the oil not too long ago, so I'm just gonna leave it in there until beginning of summer, and then I'll change it again. But it's good to avoid keeping fuel in the carburetor for extended periods of time because it gums stuff up, especially with ethanol type fuels. Oh, you can see it's starting to die. Make sure we get all the fuel out of there. Carburetor is now dry. And if you have one of the original lead acid batteries, you might want to take it out or at least keep it on a tender. I have the lithium battery and that thing's good for like up to a year as long as you don't have any kind of parasitic drain on it. I've left it for months and it just starts up every time. But I've had that lithium battery in here for years and I still have not had any problem. Who knows how long it'll last. Well, anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put the bike away in the shed. I might get it out in the spring if we have some nice weather. I hope this video is helpful. If you guys like to store your TW200 for a long period of time, this will probably keep it in better shape. And of course, if you guys think I missed anything, or if you have any ideas or things that you do differently, be sure to leave a comment down below so other people can get some cool ideas. But anyways, I'm still working on the van and also doing some work to the 4Runner as well. And I have not given up on this channel. I just have a lot going on right now. And I have a lot of like good moto camping videos that I haven't edited yet. It just takes a long time to edit and I just haven't had the time, but those will be coming. And I have plans to do a lot of cool stuff with the channel in the future. And it also looks like I'm having some big changes with work and stuff, and it's gonna free up a lot of time for me to make more videos for you guys. So I'm super excited and interested to see what the future holds. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you later. Peace out.